We show everything in this video. We even have some brand new prototypes that we've never even shown before. This is an A through Z install of a French drain system. This is one you're going to want to watch. We have this big berm trapping all this water. We don't have a nice swale here. It's not a big deal. We're going to run a French drain, run a discharge line. We're going to get rid of all this water. The water that's been trapped in here. See, that neighbor put a berm up. Landscape's good business for us. When I see landscape companies putting landscape in, that's job security. That's what we call that. That's job security in the drainage business. Right here we have a storm drain. It was buried. I have to give my men credit. That was a good find by one of our team members to dig that up. So we're going to run this discharge across the backyard to get right to that storm drain. We're running a branch off the main because there's water that lays right in here too. Now we've been in drought. We've been in drought for a while, so this is really dry right now. This is a great time to fix a water problem. Homeowners get motivated to fix their water problems when everything's flooded, and DIYers are out in the mud trying to fix it. When you're in drought, that's when you should be thinking about running that trench, digging that trench, whether you rent a trencher or whether you're doing it by hand. It's definitely a lot easier to put in a drain system when the yard isn't flooded and muddy. Always start your trenches shallow. That way you can get more slope. If you start shallow, you don't get as deep either. Think about that. The deeper you go, the harder the job becomes. This is a beautiful curtain French drain. We're several feet off the house, about 4 feet off the house. Water lays in here. We're going to put a curtain French drain in. Yes, this house is on a basement. Yes, this house has a foundation drain 8 or 9 feet down. But up here at the surface, the water lays trapped. We're going to get this water out of here. We're going to relieve this homeowner of this water problem. While we have this trench opened up, we're dropping that downspout in this trench as well. Right now we're lining this French drain with really good non-woven geotextile filter fabric that has been punched twice. This is double punched. It has, just look at all those little holes. You can see all the little holes. Those needle punches, look at that. The flow rate on this fabric is insane. Everybody wants to know why our fabric works so well. Well, you have to have a non-woven fabric that's not a tight knit. A lot of guys are buying the DOT approved fabrics because at one time that was the only way you can get really good fabric. But now what the DOT is requiring is a tighter knit. That tighter knit that the DOT now requires, the water doesn't get absorbed into the system as quick. For whatever reason, they needed to up the strength of the fabric in road construction. When you do that, you're usually going to slow down the fabric's ability to drain. We got a long discharge line on this. What's nice about the 3.5-inch pipe for yard drainage, look at this, it goes under and through all the sprinkler lines and sprinkler mains and utilities. This pipe's really nice to work with, reducing the labor by 50%. You can see all those needle punch holes. This fabric is not MDOT approved. The MDOT approved no longer drains very well at all. A few years ago, they went ahead and required MDOT to use a fabric that had a higher tensile strength. So in order to do that, the fabric, to make it stronger, actually drains a lot slower. Our fabric is not MDOT approved. When you're putting fabric in around sprinkler lines, get under them and then cut it down. Patrick's doing this right now. I'll show you how it's done. It's super easy. People overthink this all the time. It's no big deal. That's it. Do that at each sprinkler line. That's all you need to do. Right here by this tree, Patrick's going to put some copper sulfate crystals. This is going to keep those roots from filling the French drain system. That pushes the roots away. It will not kill the tree. We're working with some prototypes. You can tell they're stiffer. Be fantastic. 3.5 inch goes underneath those sprinkler lines. So nice. It makes a difference between being able to go under them and not, because a 4 inch would not. 4 inch corrugated pipe is 4 3/4 inches outside diameter. It's a 3.5 inch pipe. Cut 6 ribs of corrugated pipe. Connect 2 Ys. Push. A little more. Good. Really easy to convert our 4 inch, not quite a 90, to a 3.5. This is a clean out. That's beautiful. Copper. And we got copper sulfate under the fabric. And we got 2 clean outs. Beautiful example of a 4-way connect catch basin used for a quad pack. We have 2 4-way connect catch basins. These are 6 inch. The guy's got a 4 inch Y with a 4 inch 45. They use some of the 8 slot perforated pipe to connect this. We have the female adapter on the catch basin for 4 inch. You cap off these 2. That's it. That's just our end plug. That's also a cap for a catch basin. Over here we have 4 3.5-inch female couplers. You don't have to tape them. You're trying to let the water in. Got a quad pack. The keys to success with this system, you want to leave some fall for when you get right here, because you want to dig a sump pit for your basins, and you want your discharge line to drop a few inches, preferably if you have it to give. This is going to empty ridiculously quick. 2 3.5-inch lines will flow 104 gallons per minute. We want to tie it into this 4-inch main. This 4-inch main, that can handle 92 gallons per minute. We got 4 3.5-inch lines, 1 solid, 3 are perforated. You can see how the sprinkler line goes right in between the quad. Love this 3.5. It's fantastic. All the bottom pipes are connected. All the bottom pipes are connected. We got copper sock on the pipe. We got copper sulfate underneath the fabric. 2 cleanouts right here. One with a turf restrictor plate. The other one we don't need a turf restrictor plate on it. Our quick clips are so much easier than trying to use zip ties. Time is money. And DIYers, you want a kit that is quick, simple, fast. This is great because DIYers don't have a crew of 6 to 8 guys. So they're able to just clip it together so that it's held together. When they go to put the stone in, it makes things a lot easier. You don't have the pipes going everywhere. I really highly recommend the French Drain Man. These are the quick connect clips that we offer in the 3.5-inch size. Really nice, beautiful system, nicely done. So these are the prototypes, but they will soon be available to the public. We've been testing these quick clips, you know, every 2 feet to 18 inches, depending on your situation. You know how this is a pretty straight trench, so we're getting away with every 2 feet. If you have a meandering trench, probably going to be more like every 18 inches on the quick clips. All right, so these quick clips, you can clip the sides. You can see that this 4-way connect, look at that, all 4 pipes held together really nice. Again, these clips will all be light blue for the 3.5. We're dialing them in so that when the homeowners get them, they have a really nice experience and a finished product. Here's our end plug. Always use end plugs in pipe that don't have cleanouts. When you have a cut end of a pipe, it's the weakest part of the pipe. So put a strong end plug in it. The discharge runs all the way to the storm drain. This system is just banging. The guys just nailed it, every single detail. People always want to know, how do you go from the French drain to the discharge line? Right here. You got your cleanouts. You can run a camera through the discharge line. You can run a camera through all 4 pipes on the quad pack. You take the fabric and you cut a little hole in the fabric. Then you push the discharge pipe through. Look at that. It forms a seal. You cut a tiny little hole and you force the pipe through. Look at that. Sealed up nice. So the stone is going to go all the way to here. That's why we started putting 8-slot 4-inch pipe right there. If one of these lines happens to be dominant in a case of a really heavy storm, it's flowing more water, this one will take in a little extra or give off a little extra. There's 8-slot here, 8-slot here. Everything's perforated. We got holes drilled in the catch basin. Beautiful example of how you go from your collection system to your discharge line. While I was filming the installation of the collection system, guys were coring right through the sidewall of the storm drain catch basin. So this is where our discharge line goes. Long discharge line, but it's nice and straight. The straighter a line is, the better it's going to flow water. With every zig and zag, that slows water down. This quad pack with those French Drain Man quick connects, look at that. God dang, holds that quad pack together so nice. This is really shallow. This is a branched line with a couple cleanouts on it. We could run a camera through that, and when the camera hits the Y, because we're using Ys and we're not using Ts, the camera will go all the way to the cleanout. We have a 3.5-inch line that went right between these two valve boxes. Can you believe that? Look at that, beautiful. It fit down in between those two valve boxes. Just love that pipe. It snakes through all the obstacles in the yard, reducing your labor by 50%. Our downspout catch basin is going to be in the French drain. We're catching all the organics right there with that gutter downspout adapter. That's a vented cleanout. This will grab all the shingle gravel right here, this catch basin. That's why it's got a solid plug. And then we have a cleanout on our dominant main French drain line. So right now you want to take all your ground protection mats, get the dirt off them right now. The guys are shoveling, tipping them up, getting it off. We'll use these ground protection mats to get the stone in on this French drain. This can get packed and the grass can get put back on top. The guys went ahead and they put risers on that cleanout. Our slip fit, easy to install risers. They got the 6-inch solid covers for those cleanouts. There's your transition from your collection system, your French drain, to your discharge line. There will be grass growing on this whole system. The only thing you're going to see are the cleanouts. Always have guys standing on the pipe. When the stone gets between the trench wall and the pipe, it'll try to lift your pipe. It'll try to get under it. So always have guys standing on the pipe or holding it down with a shovel. We have a clean out with a turf plate and a clean out without a turf plate. All the pipes that are running on the bottom of this trench, all the dominant pipes, we can run a camera through. Always put sand on top of your French drain system. Leave it shallow enough when you're putting stone in to where you have room for a good couple inches of drain sand on the fabric. This way, if the sod has clay on the back of it, we can still grab up surface water. It's going to make the system highly permeable. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions about yard drainage, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.